Right now, you are not trapped by life. You are trapped by the noise in your own mind. And the strange part is this: the door of that prison has been open the whole time. The lock was never outside you. It was built from repeated thoughts, old fear, and stories you kept feeding. If you cannot guide your mind for even 10 quiet seconds, how will you guide your life for the next 10 years? That is the real question. Everything begins to change the moment you stop fighting every thought, stop replaying hurt like a movie, stop living in fake conversations, and come back to what is real. Because anxiety is not your identity. Overthinking is not wisdom. It is a pattern. And patterns can be trained out of you. Stay with this, because in the next few minutes, something important can happen. You may feel your mind slow down in a way you have not felt in a long time. And once you feel that space, once you taste that inner silence, your old way of living will start to feel too expensive. Listen carefully. You are not tired only because life is hard. You are tired because your thoughts never stop talking. Before your feet even touch the floor in the morning, your mind is already running back to yesterday, forward to tomorrow, into a conversation that never happened, into fear that has not arrived, into pressure that exists only in imagination. And then you ask why your chest is tight, why your body feels heavy, why your energy disappears so early. Here is a line to remember. This is where the shift starts. Not outside, inside. When was the last time you were truly here? Not just breathing, not just existing. I mean fully here. Eyes on what is in front of you, not lost in your own thinking. Hands doing one thing, not five. Drinking water and actually tasting it. Walking and actually feeling the ground under your feet. Sitting in silence without needing to escape into your phone, your memories, or your plans. Most people cannot do that anymore. And the scary part is they call it normal. They think living in the head means they are smart. They think overthinking means they are mature. They think constant worry proves they care. But no, it usually proves they are addicted to mental noise. Thinking gives you the feeling of control. Your mind says, if I study every angle, I can stop pain before it comes. If I imagine every bad outcome, I will be prepared. If I replay the past enough times, maybe I can fix it. If I judge myself first, maybe other people cannot hurt me as deeply. But look honestly at your life. Has that method brought peace? Has it made you free? Or has it only made you tense, tired, and absent? You do not need more thought. You need more contact with reality. The world was always here. The trees were here. The sky was here. The work in front of you was here. The people near you were here. The change happens when you stop living inside a small dark room made of words and return to the living moment. Quick truth, the mind is a tool, not a place to live. Your mind is powerful, yes, but most people have turned it into their permanent home, and that is why they suffer. A tool is meant to be picked up, used, then put down, but you never put it down. You carry it into bed, into meals, into the shower, into love, into work, into rest, into prayer, into every quiet moment that could have healed you. Then you wonder why you feel restless all the time. Why peace feels so far away. Why even good days feel noisy. It is because you drag a loud machine everywhere you go. You want calm? Stop using the mind when it is not needed. Maybe your mind says, you do not understand. My problems are real. And yes, some of your problems are real, but much of your suffering is still manufactured. Two people can face the same pressure, the same money issues, the same family tension, the same uncertainty. One stays steady, the other falls apart. Why? Because one deals with facts, while the other lives inside the story. The mind does not only describe life, it adds poison to it. It adds commentary, shame, prediction, fear, memory, drama. And if you have done this for years, you may not even notice it anymore. You think you are your thoughts, but you are not. Thoughts appear, move, and disappear like clouds. Yet something in you remains there watching. That watcher is still present. That awareness is still untouched. If you can notice a thought, then the thought cannot be you. Read that again in your own heart. You are not the noise, you are the one who can see the noise. And the moment you remember that, the grip starts to loosen. Stay here, because this next part matters more than motivation ever will. Here is the uncomfortable truth. Maybe your life is not impossible. Maybe your mind is simply untrained. That is why you overthink. That is why you delay. That is why you keep starting and stopping. That is why you stay stuck in loops. An untrained mind loves drama because drama makes it feel alive. It creates fear in safe moments. It creates doubt before action. It creates pressure when nothing is wrong. It whispers, what if they reject you while you are alone in a quiet room? It says, what if you fail before you even begin? It says, you are not enough while you are still breathing, still alive, still able to choose. And the worst part is you believe it. You treat every thought like truth, like law, like proof, like a command you must obey. But many thoughts are only mental habits. Some are useful, many are foolish. A mind without discipline is dangerous. It can cut you without touching your skin. So when you stop living inside your head, life changes because you stop obeying every inner voice. You begin to choose. And choice is freedom. First, you must see the trap clearly. The mind mostly lives in two places, the past and the future. It does not enjoy the present because the present is quiet. It has no storyline, no argument, no fantasy. In the present, there is only breath, sound, light, sensation, movement, and the task in front of you. But the mind wants complexity because complexity makes it feel important. So it drags you backward. Remember what happened. Remember what they did. Remember that shame. Then it drags you forward. What if this goes wrong? What if you lose everything? What if it is too late? Meanwhile, life is happening now and you are missing it. You call that being busy, but much of the time you are not busy. You are absent. Your body is in the room, but your attention is somewhere else, running wild like a dog with no leash. Then you wonder why focus feels impossible, why joy feels far away, why even good moments do not land in your heart. It is because peace is only felt in the present. Joy is only felt in the present. Love is only felt in the present. You cannot think yourself into peace. You can only return to it. And here is a hard truth worth keeping. If you cannot guide your attention, you cannot guide your life. Attention is your most valuable currency. Wherever it goes, your life follows. If it keeps going into old stories, imagined fear, and mental noise, then your life will feel cramped, anxious, repetitive, no matter where you live or how much you achieve. You will carry the prison with you. So where do we begin? We begin in the place most people ignore, the body, because the body is always here. The mind can pretend. The body does not. The mind says, I am fine, while the jaw is tight and the shoulders are hard. The mind says, I do not care, while the stomach burns. The mind says, I am strong, while the breath is shallow and fast. The body tells the truth. So return to the body, right now, not in theory, in practice. Feel your breath, not the idea of breath, the real sensation of it. At the nose, in the chest, in the belly. Notice how even 1 second of honest attention begins to quiet the mind. Why? Because attention cannot fully sit in sensation and story at the same time. This is the doorway. Here is your retention line. Do not miss this part, because this is the step most people skip. Your mind will resist this simple practice. It will say this is boring. It will say this is useless. It will say you have more important things to think about. It will say check your phone, fix your future, replay the argument again. That is normal. That is the addiction trying to survive. So learn the first lesson well. You do not need to fight your mind. You only need to stop feeding it. A fire dies when no one keeps bringing wood. Your overthinking feels strong not because it is true, but because you keep giving it your attention. You sit with one thought and stretch it. You polish it. You repeat it. You turn it into a whole world. Then you say the thought is ruining me. But often you are the one putting it on a throne. So instead of wrestling with thoughts, step back and notice them. Name them simply. Thinking, worrying, judging, planning, remembering. Then come back to breath. Come back to sensation. Come back to the task. Again and again and again. That is discipline. Not excitement. Not mood. Not waiting to feel inspired. Discipline. Repetition. Training. Devotion to reality over drama. Slowly space appears between you and your thoughts. You begin to notice that a thought can shout while you stay still. A thought can criticize while you continue the work. A thought can threaten while you remain calm. That is real power. A weak person is not only someone with hard conditions. A weak person is someone ruled by inner noise. A strong person can hear the noise and still choose clearly. And now we go deeper, because this is where many people finally understand their real problem. They are not always stuck in thought because they love thinking. Often they are stuck in thought because they are afraid to feel. Most people use thinking as a shield against emotion. They do not want to feel fear, so they plan forever. They do not want to feel sadness, so they analyze it from every angle. They do not want to feel shame, so they build blame in their mind. They do not want to feel loneliness, so they scroll and distract themselves. They do not want to feel uncertainty, so they keep searching for reassurance that never lasts. But you cannot think your way around feeling. You can only feel your way through it. That is why the mind keeps looping. It is helping you avoid direct experience. The mind says, let us talk about it more. The body says, please just feel it. Until you do, it stays. So the next time you catch yourself lost in thought, ask a better question. What am I refusing to feel right now? Ask honestly, not dramatically. Is it fear, disappointment, grief, anger, embarrassment, the pain of not being where you hope to be? Then do not answer with another story. Answer with sensation. Where is it in the body? Chest, throat, belly, face, shoulders? Stay there for a moment, not forever, just long enough to stop running. Breathe into it, relax around it a little. Do not explain it, do not label it 10 different ways. Just feel the raw energy of it. Then something surprising happens. The feeling starts to move, it changes shape, it rises and falls. Because emotion is energy in motion. It becomes heavy and long-lasting when thought traps it in place. When you stop feeding the story and allow the feeling, the cycle can complete. Then your body softens, your shoulders drop, your breath deepens, your face relaxes, your mind clears, and you realize maybe life did not need to be solved in that moment. Maybe you only needed to stop resisting it. Keep listening, because this next part can save you years. Now your mind may say, fine, but what about my real problems? My work, my family, my goals, my future? Good. Let us speak clearly. Living in your head does not make you productive. It often makes you late. Overthinking looks like effort, but it produces nothing. It feels busy, but it is empty. If you want results, you need clarity. If you want clarity, you need presence. And if you want presence, you must stop feeding thought when it starts spinning without direction. Here is a simple rule. When the mind gets loud, do something physical. Stand up, wash your face, walk, stretch, clean one small thing. Write one honest sentence. Drink water, do one push-up, make the bed, step outside. Action breaks the spell. The mind is strong in stillness when you keep negotiating with it. Action weakens its hold. Most people sit and debate with themselves. They wait to feel ready. They wait for confidence. They wait for the perfect plan. And the mind loves that because it keeps them safe, hidden, and small. But action threatens the mind's control. So when your mind says, I do not know what to do, answer with this, do the next obvious thing. Not the whole life, not the next 10 years, the next clear step. Open the page, send the message, start the workout, write the first paragraph, apply for one job, practice for 10 minutes, clean one corner, then the next. This is how you leave the prison of thought. Not by thinking your way out, but by moving your way out. And yes, that sounds simple. It is simple, but simple is powerful when repeated. YouTube line for you: if this part hit you, stay to the end, because the final shift is even bigger. The reason you return to your head again and again, even after you understand all of this, is because your identity lives there. Your identity has been built from repeated thoughts. I always fail. I am not confident. I am awkward. I am too late. I am unlucky. I am behind. I am not good enough. These sentences were repeated so many times they started to feel like your name. So when you stop living in the head, it can feel strange, even scary, because the old story starts to fall apart. The ego panics. It asks, if I am not this story, then who am I? Good. Let that question open. You are not just a story, you are awareness. You are presence. You are a living human being with breath, blood, choice, and possibility. The story is useful only when it helps you move well. If your story makes you smaller, stop worshipping it. Yes, it feels true. Of course it does. You practiced it for years. If you rehearse fear, fear becomes familiar. If you rehearse weakness, weakness starts to feel natural. If you rehearse defeat, you begin to walk like a defeated person. So the goal is not to create a fake, perfect story. The goal is to become someone who can act without waiting for a better story. Someone who can feel discomfort and still move. Someone who can feel doubt and still choose. Someone who can feel fear and still do what matters. That is mastery. And mastery begins in a plain, daily, almost boring place. Training attention. Every time you notice you are lost in thought, return to one anchor. Breath, body sensation, sound, your hands doing the task. That is it. Maybe 100 times a day. And every return is not failure. It is training. The person who notices and returns is waking up. The person who drifts and never notices stays asleep. Think of your attention like a cup filled to the top with water. If you walk calmly, the water stays inside. If you keep turning your head in every direction, it spills. If you run in panic, the cup empties fast. This is what most people do with their attention every day. Social media takes some. Old regret takes some. Fear takes some. Comparison takes some. Imaginary arguments take some. Random opinions take some. By evening they say, I have no energy left. Of course not. The cup leaked all day. So your practice is to carry your attention like that. Full cup. Not stiff. Not afraid. Just aware. When you eat, eat. When you walk, walk. When you listen, listen. When you work, work. Single tasking has become a superpower because most people are mentally broken into pieces. When you become whole again, people feel it. Your speech slows down. Your reactions soften. Your words become cleaner. Your choices become wiser. You stop rushing because rushing is often a symptom of living in the head. A present person may move quickly, but inside they are not frantic. Now choose one area of your life where your mind hurts you the most. Relationships, money, work, self-image, study, future. Pick one. See the pattern there. Does your mind compare, shame, predict disaster, replay pain, or fill the gap with doubt? Good. Now see that pattern for what it is, not your identity. A habit. And habits can be retrained. For the next 7 days in that one area, do this. When the story begins, do not argue with it. Do not explain. Do not chase proof. Return to breath. Return to body. Return to the next action. If you fail, return again. Freedom is not becoming perfect. Freedom is becoming less controlled. A person who cannot guide their own mind is easy to control. Other people can pull them with praise, rejection, silence, opinion, or pressure. They will spend years chasing approval and calling it love, calling it respect, calling it normal. But it is not normal. It is dependence. So when you stop living in your head, you stop being so easy to move. You no longer need to win every argument. You do not need to impress people who do not truly see you. You do not need to explain yourself to everyone who misunderstands you. You stop building your life around fear of rejection. You become simpler. And simplicity is powerful because it cannot be manipulated as easily. Also remember this, your mind is not always your enemy, but it is not always your friend either. Sometimes it helps you create, plan, solve, learn. Good, use it then. But when it becomes noisy, it is usually protecting an illusion. The illusion says, if I think enough, I will be safe. But safety was never fully promised. Life can change in one call, one message, one mistake, one chance, one sudden turn. So if your peace depends on total control, you will never rest. Peace comes when you accept reality and train your response. Ask a stronger question. Not, what if everything goes wrong? Ask, if something goes wrong, can I handle it? After enough training, your answer becomes yes. Not because you control the world, but because you trust your ability to meet it. That is the turning point. That is when you stop living like a scared animal scanning the horizon and start living like a centered human being. Calm, awake, present, ready, not aggressive, not numb, just centered. And centered means your attention is no longer scattered into 1,000 pieces. One more thing, and this may land hard, sometimes you live in your head because thinking lets you avoid responsibility. As long as you are thinking, you can delay action. Thinking feels safe. Thinking hides you. Action exposes you. Action can fail. Action can be judged. Action can show you your real level. So you say, I am preparing, but really you are hiding. You say, I need more time, but really you are hiding. You say, I need more information, but really you are hiding. The mind is clever. It uses logic to protect fear. So you must become even more honest. Ask yourself, is this thought leading to action or only leading to more thought? If it only creates another loop, stop feeding it. Return to breath, do the next thing. If planning is needed, do it clearly. Write it down, make decisions. Then stop carrying the plan all day like a heavy bag. Planning without movement is just worry dressed in clean clothes. This also changes relationships. When you live in your head, you create whole stories about people. They reply late, so you decide they do not care. They look away, so you decide you are being rejected. They speak sharply once, so you build a whole war in your imagination. Then you suffer over something that happened mostly inside your own mind. Come back to facts. What was actually said? What was actually done? Facts bring clarity. Assumptions bring suffering. Not everything needs a reaction. Some people throw hooks because they want your attention. If you live in your head, you bite every hook. If you are present, you notice it and let it pass. Silence becomes strength. Also watch your self-talk. Speak to yourself with direction, not cruelty. Instead of I am useless, ask what is the next step. Instead of I cannot do this, say do 5 minutes. Instead of I am behind, say start now. Do not wait for magic. Build skill. Return to breath, body, action, reality, again and again. The mind may never be silent forever, and that is fine. The goal is not no thoughts. The goal is freedom from being ruled by them. So when you catch yourself spiraling again, do not panic. Smile a little. Now you can see it. And seeing is where freedom begins. Take one slow breath. Feel it come in. Feel it go out. Look around you. Really look. Life is still here.